Hey guys, JoeBiz34 back again, and well, despite some controversy with the first TOTS Michael Myers figure review I did, I'm back to review this one. And I just want to start off saying that before I give my thoughts on this figure, you know, it's really amazing, like, I just have to say this, like, it's really amazing, like, how some people react when you tried to give some honest criticisms, and they weren't like unfair criticisms. And I noticed we always have those keyboard warriors out there that really try to just kind of like shoot back with some really insulting comments, you know, and dislikes, versus really listening to what I was saying with that review. You know, I actually said on multiple occasions in that review that I liked the figure ultimately for what it was, despite its flaws. I just didn't like some of the overhype that it was getting, that you could consider fair or unfair either way. But, you know, I didn't really completely bash the figure. And the things that I pointed out that I didn't like about the figure, to me, were valid, as far as lack of sculpting on the hands, as far as the paintwork being a little, you know, a little weak, the coveralls being good but a little thin. I mean, there was things I pointed out that, like, I wasn't bashing it, and I certainly was okay with it for what it was, you know, but I really could tell by some of people's comments that, like, there are people out there that really just like to start trouble instead of really just listening to what I was saying. Like, for example, there was one guy that started, like, sprinkling my channel with negative comments so bad that I literally had to, like, block him and get it off because it was just kind of inappropriate. And, you know, he was going off about how I didn't know anything about Halloween, which, if anybody knows me, that's not true. And, you know, how I didn't have this right, didn't have this right, and how can I bash the sculpt? These are people that aren't even listening carefully to what I'm saying in my reviews. I never said the sculpt was bad. I said that the end result of the mass-produced feeling of the sculpt and the paintwork and the sculpted hair, which I don't personally favor, was what I was criticizing. I did say on multiple occasions, I said, Shay, if you look back at that review, I did say that the sculpt actually was a good sculpt and that the prototype looked great. And there was a lot of potential there with better paintwork and stuff. That's all. But right away, it becomes a custom versus mass production thing, and you have to be on one side or the other, or else you're, you know, destroyed with negative feedback. So, you know, but just so you guys know, if you do the same thing with this video, based on what I'm going to say, I don't care. I mean, I really don't take it, you know, personally. I mean, your opinion is your opinion. You know, just respect the fact that I have an opinion too. And it really has nothing to do with anything personal about anybody involved. And the people that get most upset seem to be the people that have nothing to do with creating this figure, was not involved with the product at all, and yet they get highly insulted if you don't agree with them. So it's just weird. But anyway, enough about that. On to this figure. So I'm going to say right off the bat, for what this one represents, I definitely think that this one, although still has some problems, I mean, ultimately, but for the price point and for what it is, I think this one definitely is better. And again, it doesn't mean I didn't like the 78 one, okay? I'm just saying that this one, I feel, is I don't know, out of the box, it's a little better. It's better made, and it has more quality to it, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So, you know, I still think, you know, the paintwork could be a little better, but although not bad, you know, for this mask. I mean, this mask is a terrible looking mask, but that's not against the figure or the sculpt. That just means just part 5 in general. That mask was horrifying. I remember as a kid thinking it looked good at first in the trailer, and then when I saw it in the movie, I was like, yikes. But, but you know, for representing that look, this is pretty good. And again, it's got sculpted hair, which I guess that works a little bit more for this one, because the hair on it, even in the movie, was kind of flat and kind of like not too crazy. You know, it was kind of a shorter hair style, I guess, on the mask. So not bad. I would still maybe like to try to see if I can do something and get it haired or something, just because that's me. I always prefer that over sculpted hair when it comes to Myers sculpts. The hands on it, which are an improvement too, kind of have to work on hiding the rest of the arms so you don't see the difference. But the hands are sculpted there, as you could see. It has the burned look. Okay, kind of looks like a Freddy Krueger kind of thing. And I am a little disappointed, though. I would wish they would have went that extra mile and put the thorn tattoo there, but they didn't. But that's okay. You know, it's not really something you would see anyway. He stands pretty good, although every time I try to film this with one hand, I get into trouble because if he's off balance, I can't straighten it out with one hand holding the camera. But there you go. Okay, so he stands pretty good. The body is pretty solid. It's a bigger body, not tremendously bigger than the 78 one, but definitely bigger. And it does have some weight to it, and he's definitely a taller. The actor that played him in Part 5 was definitely taller and a bigger dude, so they definitely come through there. The knife is cool, though it's a little small, it's still like plasticky. I wish they would have given a little bit better of a quality knife, so that's still a problem. The t-shirt, although it's still sort of like an incomplete shirt, it's not as obvious underneath, and you don't feel the tape like the 78 one, so that's a little better. The shoes are not bad. The boots are pretty good, and they kind of remind me of the Sideshow boots that was on the 78. That were on the older Sideshow figures, like the Jasons and stuff that Sideshow used to use. Kind of reminds me of that. But the shoes aren't bad, and they're weathered pretty nice. This is the other hand that it comes with. So this is the other hand here. And as you could see, again, it has like a Freddy Krueger look, but it's got the burn and marking. So I like the idea that they actually, went there and kind of sculpted it, a little more this time, weathered it a little more than just having like a plain, plastic looking hand like the 78 Myers had. So that's better there too. So the coveralls too are pretty good. They do feel a little thicker than the 78 ones. They have more quality to it. I like the material. I think they captured. I think Tennille was still involved with the prototype, and these are definitely better. They definitely have that Part 5 look, and they're like a grayish color that has that subtle pinstripe look in it, like kind of like 4 and 5 Myers had. And I think the mask is pretty good. The only thing I would say, like if you compare it to the actual picture here, right? So if you look at the eyebrows and the paintwork there in the eyes, it's pretty good, but a little off. I would prefer the eyebrows to be a little darker, maybe a little thinner, a little closer to the eye holes. But again, that's just nitpicking. I mean, overall, it's pretty close. Not bad. I think, once again, Kane had something to do, I believe, with the prototype of the head sculpt, so great job there. And again, this translates better, to the final product, I think, overall, because of certain quality things with it. Like I said, the knife is probably the weakest thing, I think, of this one. But that's okay, because speaking of Tennille, let me show you something. So what I'm going to do, and I can't do it right now because I'm going to probably have to do something to customize the hands or replace the hands, but I have this from Tennille that I bought a while ago. And obviously this is the weapon to have for the Part 5 Myers, and that's going to make any figure of this version shine. So kudos to Tennille there, and I think her husband that does the weapons. I've had this for a while, and I've been waiting to use this. This hand that comes with it clearly is too tight. I mean, I have to use a blow dryer, or I may have to, like I said, replace the hands altogether to accommodate like holding that. But this is going to be pretty awesome. And like I said, this is something that's going to make any Part 5 Myers shine. Look at that. Even like that, that's cool. So again, Part 5 Trick or Treat Myers, Trick or Treat Studios. This one's definitely, like I said, this one's definitely an uptick. It's funny because if you look at the front of this box, it always made me angry that they kind of advertised that mask with these movies with the 4 and 5, because obviously it was not the 78 looking mask. But they should have just been honest and did the official movie poster like this, which this did circulate at the time. I remember back in '89, I think it was. But it's not as nice. Obviously this looks better, but this does translate more accurately to what we saw in the film. A lot of issues with that movie, but that's a whole nother review and story. But for the figure itself, for representing 5, this one's pretty good. I will say this is solid. It's definitely I think it's a little more money, like I said, than the 78 Myers, but Trick or Treat Studios did a better job. I don't have the 4 because I have a custom Part 4 Myers, so I didn't get the 4 through here. So, but again, I think they're on the right track. I think they just need to make a few tweaks. This knife, for example, be careful. As you can see, I got to glue this because getting it into the hand is very tight, and when you pull it out, it could break it. I'm not really too concerned because, again, easy fix, and I'm going to use this. So not really a problem. So To sum it up, negative points. Well, it's still sculpted hair. You may want to get it rehaired if you like the real hair better, or mohair or whatever. Paintwork's pretty good. Definitely better out of the box as far as not needing to really do much. But maybe if you want to weather it or make it a little more looking like that, you can alter it a bit. The eyebrows are not. The eyebrows are strictly there by paint. So like, I may attempt to kind of repaint the eyebrows, try to get it closer to that, just because just to be OCD. Other than that, like I said, I don't really feel the need for a coverall swap or a body swap or anything more severe than what some people were doing with the 78 Myers. Now, again, the 78 Myers had a great sculpt. Ultimately, I just think it needed a little more TLC as far as kind of making it shine a little more with a better paintwork and hair and everything else. But other than that, there was definitely a lot to work with there. It just, you just got to be realistic. It is what it is. Same thing with this one. This is what it is. But this one definitely, like I said, out of the box, definitely does a better job with the representation, even if you did nothing with it. And I think I am going to tweak it to a bit and have a little fun with it. But definitely a great job, step in the right direction. I do, again, the people involved do great work with the prototypes and getting everything kind of in order and having the different looks as far as what they wore in that film and so on. So definitely a higher score for this for me. And again, for all those people that, take these reviews so seriously, like, chill out, man. I mean, I don't even know some of you personally, and you're kind of like sending the pitchforks and torches at me just because I didn't like praise the thing from top to bottom. I mean, that's just unrealistic. So if you want a real honest review, that's what I'm giving you. I'm not going to lie just to kind of make some people happy, because you'll never make everybody happy. Whether you say one thing one way or the other, somebody's going to be pissed off. So you might as well just be honest with what you think, and that's it. And if you want to hear somebody praise it more that you think gave it a glowing review, watch that video. What can I tell you? Anyway, till next time, guys. Job is 34. Peace out.